Namaste Galactic Family, welcome back to the channel Indigo Angel. Come on into this dimension, guys. Come on into the Andean mountains here at the Golden Sunshine in Machu Picchu. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notifications bell, and comment, share this video, put a big like on this video today. If you have been signed up for notifications and you are not receiving them, be sure to uncheck the notifications and maybe recheck them and then refresh your computer or your phone or whatever it is. As some of you may know, my channel has been limited by YouTube and shadow banned by YouTube because of, I think, the serious nature of the things that I discuss, even though I do try to discuss things as encoded as possible. And I am selective about what I do and don't talk about for the most part to try to keep myself under the radar for the most part. But yeah, guys, so welcome to this energy update today. I have so much to talk about with you guys, very serious things like what's going on at the Vatican, also the activation of the universal stargates, the importance of the universal stargates, and tell you a little bit about the Stargate at Machu Picchu. I did finally get up there to explore, take pictures, connect to the energy, connect to the land, connect to Apu, the spirit of the mountain, the axis mundi, and I did see the Stargate. So I want to tell you guys all about that today and dive into what's going on. It's really interesting. If you are subscribed to see Lisa Renee's newsletter from energeticsynthesis.com, within the first, I received it, I believe it was this morning, yeah, July 17th, 2022. She just sent this energy update out, but she's talking about within the first paragraph that the current shift into the next harmonic universe is the changing position of the world's soul to Machu Picchu's ancient Andromedan gateway system. So right away, she's kind of connecting the dots to everything that I've been seeing and feeling. And it's really nice when other people kind of confirm what it is that you're picking up on. I haven't picked up on the Andromedan gateway system. I think the Andromedan gateway system is, it's obviously a universal celestial filamental corridor that runs in the energetic earth spheres, global spheres, but I wasn't picking up on Andromedan energy here predominantly. It was mostly Pleiadian and Crookes energy. But the Andromedan corridor could be running those energies through the Ark of the Covenant, and up into the higher aurora passageways and things like this. So what I've been seeing is that Machu Picchu Stargate is powering the diamond grid networks, and the original crystal seed networks that are upholding the original crystal grid templates here on this earth, and that's getting kind of a redesign, so to speak. But I'm going to tell you guys all about that today. And be sure to check out my Facebook and my community tab as well, because I posted so many pictures of Machu Picchu and my time there and video clips. And those video clips that I posted are basically sneak peeks of the artistic video that I am creating here. So I'm hoping to get that out maybe here in the next few days. It is taking a little extra time and a little extra work because there's so much that's going into this. All of the music is being authentically created from scratch. All of the words are being channeled and designed by me. All of the graphic design is being done by my good friend Bart, who is gonna really do some amazing stuff on this video. So I'm so excited to bring this forth. I hope that you guys really, really like it. It's gonna be including so many elements here that will just create this full experience of the Stargate here at Machu Picchu, connecting to Pachamama, Apu, the sacred elements of the Quiro, the Incan. It's going to incorporate a great sacral chakra reset, a collapsing down of global crucifixion wounds, and clearing underground energy networks and filaments funneling to and from the Vatican. So it's going to be clearing deeper in the inner earth ley lines from Peru to the Vatican, because there are all of these energetic networks running here. I talked to you guys about the obelisk networks that are running down here, and I really kind of went to how the inner earth passageways to the Vatican are connected to this place. I explained that in much more detail in my last update, so please go watch my last update if you haven't, just so you can kind of catch up on all of that information and intel. And the Vatican has really been coming up a lot lately. So all of this is really connected to the string of current events that are happening. As you guys know, right before I left, the Georgia Guidestone was taken down, and then we had the lightning strikes at the vegan city obelisks, and now we're having all of the fires that are getting stirred up in Rome. So the Vatican's coming up due to those fires. I think all of it's an accelerated energetic energy that is a catalyst for a reawakening and a catalyst for deeper clearing, deeper healing. Right now, we also have massive protests that have been breaking out in Vatican City as well. I guess the Italian Prime Minister is under a lot of pressure to resign, or he did resign and it was rejected or something like along those lines. His name is Mario Draghi, and he is a draconian bank gangster who's basically worked his way up through the European Central Bank, chair of the Financial Stability Board, governor of the Bank of Italy, and worked for the World Bank in Washington, D.C. So I guess, oh, sorry, I'm like scratching my leg right now because the mosquitoes here are insane. So because I've done so much hiking and have gone up so many trails to try to get to all these beautiful waterfalls that are like something out of the Garden of Eden, I'll tell you what, they're like magical waterfalls. But the mosquitoes got a hold of me. So I probably have about, no joke, like 50 to 60 mosquito bites all over my legs, and I look like I have chicken pox or something. So I'm trying not to scratch them. It's very hard because they're very itchy. But this guy, Mario Draghi, which is last name, right? Draghi, it sounds like Draco anyways. I guess he's actually pretty popular in Italy. But for some reason, he's the one who requested to resign, but his request has been rejected by the Italian government. So now there's some Italian government crisis that's in some karmic loop cycle as we speak. So there's like a lot of internal conflicts that are happening right now. And I feel that these internal conflicts are mirroring the fire crisis that we are essentially seeing. So we could potentially be seeing the beginning of a weakening infrastructure of the heart of Rome and the Rome banking institutions. And apparently there were 2 different fires that broke out in Vatican City. Some intel is saying that the fires were in 3 main areas. But the mainstream media is only reporting 1 fire. But then there's conflicting stories. So there is not a lot of verification. I think we'd have to be boots on the ground in Rome to go around and actually verify how many fires or whatever it is. But I think there is a lot more going on here that meets the eye. And there's a reason why this gate system is connected here to Machu Picchu, and Machu Picchu is activating. See that it's everything is happening for a reason, right? Another interesting aspect to this story is that there are apparently Vatican underground DUMs that are connected to the CERN supercomputers. Again, this is stuff that I think is still all encrypted connections to the Georgia Guidestones, and the word is that orders have been sent out from headquarters beneath or around Lake Geneva to particular groups. The groups start with particular letters. CIA. I don't really want to say the names of these groups, but they basically have substations all around the world. Okay, and so I guess for over 1,000 years, the Vatican tunnels have housed supercomputers that are connected to worldwide money laundering systems. Okay, that are connected to the Fourth Reich, that are connected to the not sees, the ones we can not see and the ones who cannot see, and all connected to the global royal dynasty families. So what's going on there, why Rome is burning right now, is because we're watching the burning and the transformation that is the root of the global corruption that we see and feel today. That is under fire. There's pressure being put upon this. So what I keep seeing is that we are actually just receiving another layer, another stripping, another collective clearing here as the light templating expands from within the grids. And so it's just calling more attention to it and providing more transformation where transformation is needed. So Machu Picchu comes into place with all of this because it is a fifth dimensional Pleiadian crux stargate, and it has inner earth ley line connections and currents to the Vatican. Okay, and the reason is because of the coordinates. Okay, because you're thinking, like, how is the Vatican connected to Machu Picchu in Peru? It's because they're in coordination to each other, both holding fifth dimensional templating. Okay, it's like the Vatican's holding the fifth dimensional reversal templating. Machu Picchu is at 13.1631 degrees south and 72.54 degrees west. Vatican Inner Earth 5D gate is holding 41.9029 degrees north, 12.4534 degrees east. So they're connected through the coordinates. Remember on the last video how I told you there was an obelisk network running currents down to Peru? It's running this through specific coordinates and through the obelisk that is centralized in the ovum of the Vatican. That obelisk in specific is the coordinate that runs the ley line down to Machu Picchu. Okay, so what I'm overall seeing here is that what is happening is there is a cosmic stirring that is taking place within the filaments of the celestial universe. And there is an ultra double diamond expansion taking place inside the Stargate at Machu Picchu. So I seen the Stargate when I visited, and I was granted a vision the night that after I visited, and I was closing my eyes. And it came into view at first. I seen the skeleton of Pachacuti, and he was sitting in like a royal chair on top of a cave, and I was like given like the skeleton key. From there I was pulled into the Stargate, and I seen what appeared to be a celestial funnel that was making its way down through two portals in two directional trajectories into the mountain. Okay, so it's like they're coming from two different directions, one from the south and one from, I want to say maybe the northeastern trajectory, but it was like two funnels of celestial energy, filaments of energy that were coming down from the Southern Cross and from the Pleiades into the stones, okay, into the carved stones. And it was creating an inner mountain stargate. Okay, so the stargate is actually inside the mountain. It's set up directly underneath Machu Picchu. I can't say how far down. I don't want to say it's like directly in the middle of the mountain, but it's just below, maybe like 1/3 into the mountain. And it looked like a star, like an actual star, an actual sun that was ablazed inside of the mountain. The Stargate was ultra platinum light. It was ultra diamond light with hues of platinum violet and other deep metallic colors that were turning the surrounding Andean mountains into a metallic mosaic interlay. And all of that metallic mosaic interlay color infusion was moving, it was living, it was breathing, it was creating colors and funnels and swirls, and it's like that is the actual interlay frequency of the Andean mountains themselves surrounding the Stargate. And the light was radiant, and it was surrounding celestial sky filaments of intelligence. It was all like, it was all connected, and it permeated into the inner earth ley lines. So it was very, very, very powerful, overwhelming. I seen it expand from within my own chest. I seen it there first, and then I seen it inside the mountain simultaneously within seconds after that. And then I seen that it extended to an inner earth, enormous golden disk of the sun up underneath Lake Titicaca. And that seemed to be running a white grid and a white purity illumination flame. So between Machu Picchu and Lake Titicaca, very connected. It's a functioning, massive global spiritual system. It seemed to be streaming celestial filaments to the Nazca lines and to the Rainbow Mountains, because I can feel their presence and their energy coming up from the ground. I can feel it coming up from the ground. When I literally put my hands here on the ground, I can feel and see all of it come up through my fingertips. And I can hear the earth chants and the earth speaking to me up through the ground. And it's just kind of showing the entire picture of everything. So it's really amazing. It's incredible. It's absolutely beautiful. That's why I'm saying I'm not picking up on the Andromedan systems here that might be playing out on a higher level. But what seems to be immediate here is the celestial filaments from Pleiades and Crooks predominantly. And that does seem to be what is, like I said, upholding the diamond grid, templating, and also the golden sun disks up underneath Lake Titicaca. So that brings me to wanting to discuss with you guys the importance of the stargates, to work with this energy, to connect in with this energy. It's not just the stargates in the heavens, it's the stargates in the earth, and why this energy, stargate power here, has the ability to clear the Vatican. So grid keepers, gatekeepers, energy healers, indigo type 1s, 2s, and 3s, which I will go over the indigo types with you guys again. Just not in this video today because I don't have time to fully cover that, but that is a question that I do. Oh, you guys, my leg is so itchy. That is something that you guys have asked me a lot of times, and I do try to talk about the types as much as possible in other videos and updates. I have I believe an update I put out about a month ago. I was talking about the difference between all the indigo types. It's basically just your mission. And you can be each one. That's the thing. There's no limitation here. It's all about the capacity of your strands of DNA and your ascension capacities within yourself and the frequency that you hold within. And you can transition in and out of those templates and types. Indigo type 1s are the grid keepers. They are the gatekeepers. They're the ones working with the earth ley lines, the energy lines. The 2s are working more in the processes of ascension, personal ascension development, and the 3s are working with universal principles of duality and polarity, and they're more of the transmuters of negative energies, karmic energies, global transmuters of that, not just personal experience. A lot of times it is felt and seen through personal experience, but as you're having those personal experiences, you're doing that for the collective energies. It just depends on how conscious you are of what you're doing. Some people, indigo type 3s, are very conscious of that they are transmuting polarity and duality for the collective all the time. They have a harder mission, indigo type 3s. So yeah, and there's another indigo type. There's also an indigo type 4. And this is a even higher level, which I'm starting to anchor and see this template that has to do with holding the celestial networks of the indigo templates and how they're anchoring those celestial networks into the grids. They also are holding fundamental pieces of the indigo type 1s, but this would be indigo. I'm calling them indigo type 4s for now. I'm still trying to make sense of all of that. And again, I'll do another video on that, going into all of this more extensively, because it does seem to be the number one question that I do get asked. But going back to Stargate, so they are made of celestial energy, wave spectrum. Okay, filaments within that wave spectrum that connect to multiple dimensions, timelines, reality fields, biological functioning sets of ascension waves within the universal time-space matrix that open at the end of evolutionary cycles. They can turn on and off predominantly every 12,000 years, but they are also running on other cycle templates as well, precessional templates and cycles. Also planetary cycles, solar cycles, lunar cycles. Okay, everything is functioning according to that, and I don't think there is any perfected science that has this mastered yet. Right now, it's really based upon channelers, those that are connected to the guardianships, guardian alliances, those who are in parental roles, those who are carrying the templating of the 144,000, that are picking up on the opening and the closing of these Stargate vortexes. I feel from what I've seen that these celestial filaments are gaining more increasing energy and momentum at this time, and that the Stargates are opening up more. Machu Picchu is open, fully open. And they are expanding and creating spirals of energy. Giza is open as well. Giza is very open. Okay, and the surrounding areas of the Stargates are hijacked, but the Stargates themselves are not hijacked. This energy is the purest, highest Earth energy that you could ever truly feel or experience here on this Earth. They carry the 3 spirals of creation within them. They're running the magenta, the gold, and the blue flames predominantly as the like the core fire, the white flame as well. And they're also holding intergalactic plasma waves from the source field. And so there's no way that it can be like capped or hijacked. It can just be siphoned off of, essentially, in a very small way, actually. It's the Earth's purification system. The Stargates are an organic part of the mechanics of creation, and it defines and powers the holographic architecture on this earth. And the D13 current, which is the magnetic grid, and within the magnetic grid, there is an intercrystalline grid. And within the intercrystalline grid, there is a more refined grid, which is the diamond grid. And so each one of these grids are going through a transformation. The diamond grid is powered from the energy inside the stargates. From the actual Stargate I have seen inside the mountain here at Machu Picchu. I can't even describe the radiance of this Stargate. It's something that maybe I will try to define in the artistic video that I'm creating to show the actual Stargate. I'll have to talk with Bart and see if he can do that. I don't see why he couldn't, but the color spectrum I think will be very hard to nail because it was actually very metallic, which was interesting to me. Why metallic? Very radiant, ultra platinum. It's like if there's an ultra metallic platinum violet, something like that. It's just a pure crystalline illumination. So these stargates are very, very, very important. It's something that a lot of people don't really know about, to be honest. I mean, I know everyone watching here probably knows about them, connected to them, working with them, because you're all a part of the higher consciousness community. But, people around the world don't have any idea because they just aren't attuned. They can't see it. They can't feel it. They don't know that this... It's like a unconscious, hidden aspect to their existence that many will never, ever, ever, ever come to know in this life. So those of us who do know, just know that we are chosen, and we are very, very blessed to have this understanding and to have this connection and be able to work with this energy and this power from our hearts. It's beautiful. So we have 12 running sets of universal stargates all over the world. There are more, okay? These are the biggest, though. 12 very, very large ones. I don't feel all 12 are actually turned on at this time. I could be wrong, but I'm picking up that there's 6 to 8 that are actually on. Each one is different in the way that it looks. Each one is different in the way that it operates. Each one is different in the way that it is shaped, the way that it is anchored inside of the planet. And they're all running celestial codes, systems, networks. They're all multi-dimensional, 12-dimensional to 24 to 48-dimensional sets of celestial templates that are running, and they're all running different geometries. Okay, the geometry here is definitely tetramorphic, and it's definitely expanded beyond the 10th dimension. I haven't picked up on the geometry yet. That's something that I'm going to try to tune in to today more. See if I can pick up on the geometric templating. To me, it's tetrahedron is what I'm starting to see. Tetrahedron, which is a 12 to 15 dimensional Merkaba. Okay, so very advanced geometry. We also have other mother arcing stargate sites that anchor the 13th through 15th density ultra frequencies. So these are different. They're technically kind of like stargates. They're running celestial filaments, but they're just considered mother arcing systems. They're more of that because they're holding more crystal seed codes from original celestial origins that have assisted with the evolution of humanity and the seeding of humanity. Those gates are typically running more aquamarine codes, magenta codes, diamond encoding, and again, organic D13 magnetic encoding. We also have high organic crystal nodal points that run similar also to universal stargates. There's 24 major organic crystal nodal points that were anchored into the planet by the Pleiadians, and these are at high peak points. So one of those would be like Mount Shasta and Tibet, mountaintops in Tibet. I can't think of them off the top of my head right now because there's like a whole bunch of them, but essentially these are functioning off of gas systems in the earth, gas lines that run through the mountains that hold a different type of alchemical encoding, but they're pure energy. And they're just kind of functioning at a smaller level of quantum transduction versus what the universal stargates are functioning at. So the planetary stargate system of the Earth are the Earth's connection points into the galactic and universal realms. All of these are interconnected that anchor those universal realms. So what comes through these gate systems upholds the rest of humanity on a spiritual level. They are the basis of the consciousness body of the earth. Okay, but many are disconnected from that, right? Capped from that, sealed off from that, sold off from that. Sold off from that. And this was originally created from the Diamond Network. Okay, so all of this was originally created from that refined element of the diamond mines, the organic crystal caverns, and again, at a quantum level, ultra super quantum super consciousness, hall of records, halls of Amenti, super conscious field of the earth. It's holding in that consciousness body in the diamond network. There are fractals of the original crystal seeds of humanity. And all of this is simultaneous dimensional layers existing here that connect to the layers of the Earth's auric field. So really, as my mission, it's to work to interlink and interconnect that back into people's gnosis, and help people to understand all of that more. That's kind of the basis for this artistic video that I'm putting out and why this is so important to me. Okay, and I'm really putting myself out with this, you guys, because like I said, I haven't done any artistic creations since 2020. So I got to kind of get back into my groove when it comes to that. But it takes showing vulnerability is what it takes. It takes showing how you connect to spirit and to the land. And that's not always what people want to see. Again, because they're sold off from it, right? So it takes me, you, us, all of us showing how. We have to show how we connect, because showing people how is how we get other people to connect, basically. So all of these Stargate sites, they were once sealed off and have been closed, turning on and off progressively over thousands of years, turning on and off and opening more during, I think now, particularly this ascension cycle, they are opening more now. I don't think Machu Picchu, like I said, has ever been one that has fully closed. Okay? Going back 13th, 14th century, it has not been closed. Okay? It's been invaded But these stargates have stayed open and have been preserved in secret as much as possible. There are sacred keepers of this earth that have sacrificed everything to keep this preserved. Their life, their children, their history, their culture. That's why it's so powerful. The energetic connection and the spiritual energy network is vast in Peru. It's not like anything that I've experienced yet on this earth. And these stargates have to be plugged back in. We have to plug these back in, and it's through the gnosis. It's through the knowing. It's through our connection to the land. You can receive this connection to Peru and to Machu Picchu simply by going outside. It's not just about your feet. Okay, put your hands on the ground. And through your breath, you draw the celestial filaments up through your fingertips. Okay, you carrying those seed codes, those celestial seed codes in your hands, because you have to bring it in through your prana, in through your chi. You can pull the energy out to heal, but you can also bring it in to bring it up into the heart and then up into the eyes of the soul to show it. Okay, the more you draw it up through the hands, okay, and the feet, you bring it up into your eyes. Your eyes will actually illuminate more with that sacred spiritual energy, and you'll see the stars, you'll see the celestial filaments, you'll see the diamond grid in your eyes. This is how we restore the organic grid. We are an aspect of those filaments that restore the global universal tree of life. And that alone will rebuild the planetary pillars. It will uphold the spinning planetary spiritual Merkaba body. Machu Picchu is a spiritual pillar. Okay, this pillar hasn't been taken out. It's still upholding everything against all of the abuse from the negative aliens to those wanting to control this earth, for those wanting to destroy and corrupt everything over greed, and the financial banking institutions in Rome, and the supercomputers in Rome, and CERN, and all of this. So this is the thrust of light energy that is necessary to even clear the Trinity gates, all of the harvesting Lush Gate sites. Okay, California, it's where they're harvesting indigos the most. New York, Manhattan, harvesting indigos. China, harvesting of indigos. Cambodia, harvesting of indigos. Australia, harvesting of indigos. The UK, harvesting of indigos. Canada, harvesting of the Mother Mary and Michael ley lines. Harvesting of Mother Mary's energy tied in the red ropes. The PDSs, all of it. Okay, all of this can be restored just by plugging back in and fully restoring the organic grid. And we can create that together through our minds, through our hearts, and through the celestial filaments in our eyes, in the seat of our soul, in the oversoul, in our monadic fields. We just have to keep clearing these and keep connecting them back in. And we are the light that expands and plugs each other back in. That's what we have to realize. It's not about separating and isolating and pulling away. It's about opening our heart and showing our vulnerability and showing our humility and showing our humanity. We have to show it. This is what I'm learning, you guys, just by being here more and more. It's like you already know it, but you get that remembrance more by experiencing the gift of the source field, and it's just absolutely amazing. So yes, that was my message for today. I wanted to share the importance of the stargates so you guys can maybe understand why I'm so dedicated to this work at the end of the day is because the mechanics of creation are never ending and completely infinite, and they are to be embraced and to be shared and to be expanded. So I love you guys so much. I hope you're having a beautiful everything, and I'll see you guys next when I get back home from my trip, and I'll keep on moving forward. Hopefully I'll be doing some interviews coming up on some other channels to share all of this intel that I've accumulated being here. And yeah, I look forward to more to come. So I hope you guys have a beautiful everything, and take care.